You're running on easy words while fathers are telling their boys how to survive a police encounter as if surviving is a choice. 100 different strategies, all held up by the hope that the father, who is still alive, found the secret for dodging the rope. We're running on easy words while some badges with all their training can't be relied on not to kill a child, and some fear nobody's naming. And the boy's as tall as a man, but barely a teenager. We can only guess how youthful awkwardness might prove his mortal danger. We're running on easy words while fathers fret for their daughters whose brown skins get taken for deep, discomforting waters. And the self-possession that should be her protection in the wilderness might trigger the weak will to weave against her with wickedness. You're running on easy words while governmental intelligence grows and corporations help with AI surveillance of the citizens. In USA, in Russia, in China, and in Brazil, we carry political distinctions to the families of those we've killed. We're running on easy words while your best and your brightest protest with the knee down, fist up gesture to the righteous. So we strip them of their dues, slash the fabric of their ambition, because power plus easy words means you feel you don't need to listen. We're running on easy words and quick to change the topic to a shop with shattered window, jeopardy to lifeless objects. So some humans do wrong and leave a balance sheet in the red, but what about those who do wrong and leave innocent humans dead? We're running on easy words while on your corporate letterhead, you edit the BLM community, you edit the COVID communique and scribble BLM instead, while with 1% of your profits that go to the 1%, we could educate every child worldwide of colonized descent. These companies run on easy words while slow to wean their engines on fossil fuels that choke us to fund catastrophic vengeance against the unprotected in Yemen, in Syria, in Kurdistan, against Uyghurs, against indigenous people in every land. Yet we run on easy words while we expect the immigrant who worked hard to build a business to accept that destruction is imminent, to sacrifice their life's work to the burning fury of justice, even though we know they won't be bailed out by the very system that they trust in. You're running on easy words, you're nailed into your position, so there's pain in being rude, that's why it's easier not to listen. You're running on easy words and quick to tell your story, and put everybody else's into some simplified category, stuck in old ideas of what it means to be strong, because easy words don't teach you to recognize that you could be wrong. Easy. Easy. Loveland! Thank you. All right, that's how I get the news coming back. That was a bit of a heavy one. Tried to start heavy. But you know, Juneteenth, we got to recognize what it's all about. And you know, speaking of Juneteenth, you guys got the first one really quickly. So let's move on to another one. Which, when I say Happy Juneteenth, I want you to say Freedom Day. Happy Juneteenth.
Freedom Day.
Happy Juneteenth.
Freedom Day.
Microphone's calling back, all right. Happy Juneteenth,
Freedom Day.
All right. So here in Colorado, it's been a destination for so many people who just come here for all. I mean, look at the sun, look at the weather, look at the community. This is what brings Colorado here. And some of the people who came here are people who were fighting slavery around that original Juneteenth period, where people were discovering that they were finally free, as the Declaration of Independence said. So I'd like to tell a little bit about some of these folks. If you can buy the booth, you might have grabbed the handout, so you can follow along with this poem if you like. If not, I think we have more copies if you're curious about some of the names that I mentioned and want to go check it out later. But again, these are some really interesting Coloradans that I don't think are always remembered in our history. So let's run it down like this. And I just wrote this past week, so it's fresh out the oven, y'all. We speak the many former black slaves who live in Colorado renowned, starting with the Central City angel, Aunt Clara Brown. There's so much to her story, it should be a mini-series. Thousands of pages on what she did for the poor, the meek, and the weary. She spent her whole life searching for her children, sold off like prizes by slave owners. Before she died, she did find one daughter, Eliza, ambassador to black folks in Kansas, sent by the Colorado governor. Listen, I could run for hours, and my stories would barely have covered it. There's Henry Waggoner, who brought the spirit of education with a dream the new state of Colorado would never see segregation. He worked with Frederick Douglass to anchor the Underground Railroad. In Continental Divide, a mining business, his brain was the motherlode. All hail the Octoroon orator, that's what they called him. All hail the Octoroon orator, William Jefferson Harding, who had a hatful of stories of the great black people who came before him. In the Army, he struggled for his regiment to thrive in a racial mix. Then he broke down color barriers in Rocky Mountain politics. We salute Edward Sanderling, born in Louisiana plantation state, a slave, who retired a rich man in Denver, hustling a haircut and a shave. His mother fought for his freedom, sent him to school in Ohio. Then the gold rush brought him out west by the high road to Colorado. Let's sing of John Taylor, the ultimate Buffalo Soldier. He battled Cheyenne in youth, but he joined them when he got older and wiser, learned words were lies that were spoken as manifest destiny. Generous new allies left him the land that became Ignacio City. There was a slave from Virginia, Missouri, Elijah Wentworth, who made his way with the wagons to Denver for sanctuary and work. A poet and singer of soul, he found a role and lifted it higher, gaining far and wide attention as the Union Station town crier. Julia Greenland survived a whip in the eye from a slave master. Later, she came with the first governor before Denver was alabaster. Now in the books for sainthood, followed Francis of Assisi. So kind to the poor, she was also labeled an angel of charity. Remember Julius Lewis, forced to valet for Confederate soldiers who became a Pullman porter, Confederate officers who became the Pullman porter, eventually ran the Denver offices. One of the leading owners of mining concessions in Boulder, yet he found himself having to fight for his own possessions when he got older. People come to so many other black Coloradans with great stories of emancipation. William J. Davis with a cunning gunslinger's reputation. Nancy and Samuel Lancaster, who worked off the Liberty Fee, or Edwin Morris killed with cash in his pocket to buy himself free. People come to the Rockies for clean air, for the great outdoors. This beautiful land colonized, stolen in Indian wars. We remember those who hustled their way here to fight for the freedom they lacked. The soul of Colorado history is industrious, gifted, and black. People come, one more time, people come to the Colorados for the clean air, for the great outdoors, this beautiful land, this beautiful bountiful land, colonized, stolen in Indian wars. We remember those who hustled their way here to fight for the freedom they lacked. The soul of Colorado's history is industrious, gifted, and black. Loveland! Yes, Loveland! Happy Juneteenth! Freedom Day! Happy Juneteenth!
Freedom Day!
Oh, yeah, thank you.